Hey, Bree. Um, just want to say there's a bit of coercion between law, court, criminology, and Scientology, so to speak, here. In the sense that psychiatry comes a lot like me, like psychiatry. There's some projections in this country where people feel abducted by Scientology. I don't know who or what they are, it's only a documentary and stuff, but it reminds me and reminisces me of psychiatry and what it does to people, which is abduct your soul in a sense. It abducts and abducts and abducts until you feel like you're nothing more again. And in saying that, there's an awful lot of provision in the sense that guards throw you into the institution, then you're under a doctor's hook for this time for me 13 weeks, other times it was 6 weeks, other times it was 10 weeks, other times it was 8 weeks. Every time I go into an institution, it's detrimental law. It is deteriorative. It is societal practice which I do not worship or fear, but they expect it on their own regard to be some susceptible characters and books kind of things where they expect to be written down and accounted for in all these details. It's not a form of methodized healing, it's not a form of practice. And the reason I say it's not form of practice is because I've inclined into a detention centre-like environment. In saying that, being in a detention centre-like environment is like being in a prison. But I don't feel I've committed any crime. But in saying that today I got arrested under the Mental Health Act was for trespassing apparently. So there's transparencies here that I say, there's a lack of transparencies I want to say. For a start, I didn't commit any crime because I wasn't arrested for the crime. But apparently mental health is a crime. Which is one thing I want society to question. How is being infringed by the mental health a crime? How is an arrest an offence? What part of the mind is so suggestive or apparative that it needs arresting under? This is one of the clauses that needs to be cleaned up in the world for mental people to commit suicide under the guise of psychiatry healing. Also in the name of that, I've been kept at board here for 13 weeks. I've been allowed 4 to 5 times, 2 recent times to the shop, so it's getting a bit better on each occasion. But I'm saying, why should I have to walk to the shop with somebody supervised? What have I done that's so provocative or so unmeasurable people can't claim? What is it that I've done? Basically, because I'm getting beaten and bullied up. Bullied and beaten up. In the County Kildare here by guards and doctors. And the reason I say this is because they're forcing the drugs down my throat, which are very convicted measures. And the reason I say convicted is because once you're detained or under detention, it's a form of conviction. But there's no transparency here in these people having the right to do it to me, as far as I know under the Constitution. The other thing I want to say is that in relation to being a conviction, they're convicting my mind. Without committing any crime, they're convicting my mind. This is on other occasions now, where it's been 5 years running, I've been institutionalised. And I presume to keep this place bound, or someone has made some formal accusation that I need to be remanded once a year. I don't know who's making money off this, but I guarantee you the staff here are. I guarantee you the nurses are. I guarantee you the doctors are. I guarantee you the cleaning people are. I guarantee you the upstairs staff in the kitchen are making money off this hospital. I'd say there's 40 to 60 people working here. They want to keep their jobs afloat. But how can they do it without clientele? And that's when we're citing the notion once again. How can you prove it's any instability within any human being? And under what flaws or clause have you made against me? And I look at my own image now and I wonder to do an image, or I wonder to do it admitting I smoke cannabis, or I've taken LSD, or I've taken magic mushrooms, or I've taken ecstasy, or I've spent a number of occasions, gotten penalty points. I've tried to admit all this stuff in relation to becoming clear. Can you come clear to me and tell me what's so abnormal about my existence that people can't accept? Reagan Mar Fitzgerald, Marcus Polani, due to what? It's not over the instances of Irish Gael talk reiteration. And it seems to be what's despised here, because I've spoken Irish to many people, just as Hickisa, to see who can speak Irish, and not many other people can speak Irish, which means there's an English pronunciative value that's winning this battle. So I'm asking you, on the English pronunciative value, what battle have I lost in relation to losing 13 weeks of my life this time around? Or 6 weeks last year where I was dragged in by 2 guards? Or before that I went to the Blanchard Hospital because of the mental health record, the instantaneously think I need their drugs or to be held under the Mental Health Act. These people just single-handedly sign a paper and your freedom is gone. I'm not going to joke about the damage it caused me in 2012 when I was first diagnosed mentally stable. When I didn't even want to go for the interview with psychiatry, I was forced into it. for whatever reasons no one has talked to me about, but I was grieving at the time for my grandmother. But the point I really want to break is like how it's like a religion in its own way. Psychology is like a religion in relation to how coercive it is towards parts of me where I want to be free within myself in here, and they come in and say this isn't suitable, this isn't suitable, this isn't suitable, this isn't suitable. They come into your mind in a sense and say your mind activity isn't hygienic enough as the latest accusation. Hygienic enough. I have one of the pure minds I know of, and that's even one of a Buddhist I know, Tay said, I have one of the purest minds, in a certain sense he said this to me spiritually. He said, I have one of the purest minds he's met. These are my clean points. For some reason they feel they're weak points. I want to pinpoint them as weak points. I wonder is it to put the gun at the head there. I wonder is it really, because that's what it feels like often. And this is only because some of the other videos I talk about that I watched last night, people committing suicide. And even as I watch this plant sway in the wind here, it's saying I am free, I am growing and I have girth. And in that sense, why am I allowed out with my trees instead of an environment like this, which is pure solid? Pure solid, pure solid, pure solid, pure solid all around. And this is supposed to be a healing method. It's like a box for your mind. As this young guy pointed out, this young Dara guy pointed out the other day. So they arrest you under the Mental Health Act, then they put you in an environment which is apparently associated to your behaviour. But they still haven't reclaimed what behaviour that is. Do you have the intellect to come back at me and tell me what behaviour is so unpleasing or unacceptable that I'm not worthy of the world I was born of through? What is it exactly? Can anyone point this out for me, please? Thanks. And also, because of conviction, can the formality of a conviction come down the line? So I understand for myself, so you're not diseasing my brain even further. Which I don't feel there is a disease, this is what I've been accused of. I'm saying I don't feel there is a disease. But you're accusing me of having a disease called schizophrenia. Schizophrenic notion resides in your mind until you portray it unto others. That's where it resides, that's what it is, only an idea until it's translated. As any meme, as its own MEME is an idea translated. So let's say conjurery. The notion of giving everyone jewellery for a Christmas or a birthday gift, let's make that an idea. And someone doesn't get their jewellery on a Christmas if you're a conjurist. You know, and the conjurers come up becoming a volatile, vulnerable idea known to man. Like schizophrenia for many years, I know what it is for me. And that's provoke my fears or evoke my fears. You're saying is now, I don't think so. And why would I have to fear deep down realistically when all is death? And that's the statement you might have heard before, but I'm saying all is death. And the reason I'm saying that is my own captivity. Captivity with capsulation, in other words. But I'll further reiterate that, and the point I want to make is that it's our first sanctum, in the sense that all is life, but all is death in the sense that we all die. But at this moment of time, when you're in an environment like this, you feel convicted, you're showing no way out, other than taking the drugs which make you feel dead, then it feels like all is death. And I'm not by no means suicidal, I just feel like saying that this is death you're bringing me every day, put me into an institution. And now you'll see, watch this, the bit of sunlight comes through. And this is where we got 2 to 4 hours of sunlight a day. In the Republic of Ireland, the freest land in the world, the Fighting Irish, why do you think I'm being bed up? Because I fight like a dog for what Irish standards mean. And people are going to accuse me of being unhygienic. I'm looking at my grey hairs here, they're growing every day. In fact, I have about 400 new grey hairs there in recent weeks. But I believe in freedom. Never mind any words, ritual, rights or law, I believe in freedom. And this place does not provide my freedom, but I have an inherent right to freedom under the Constitution, and I'm wondering why that's not being respected. When I went to walk out 2 or 3 days the other day, two days in a row, I tried to walk out of here to go home. And they're stopping me in my tracks because my parents, I'm surely didn't want me. There's the notion my father saying he's going to hospitalise me, but there's also the notion that the guards turn up to arrest me under the Mental Health Act. So I want such things explained to me from my uncle, and is out of the decency and the maintenance of other people, please. If you can get them points across to me, please. Thank you. And conviction, the one last thing, how am I convicted? In the notion of being discharged from a hospital, how are you charged? What charge am I under? That you're not letting me go because I've asked to leave. And I don't believe there's any healing method or rhetoric that's going to bring me above any form of appraisal that I don't feel underneath already, which is your own egotistical notion and your own egotistical status. Would you believe as a doctor or a psychiatrist you should go higher than the average person? What a crock of bull.